bridesmaid, never the bride, because as far as playing poker live, I've only been playing less than 2 years now, just over a year and a half. I was always an online player before, and I've won plenty of titles and tournaments online, but I haven't won a live tournament yet, but I've had 2 second places in European ranked events this year. So I'm still waiting to get my hands on my first trophy to take home. And the trophy means more to me than money, in actual fact.
Ian's got the passion and desire to win, but is that enough?
I think it's 30% skill and 70% luck, because it doesn't matter how skillful you are. You know, I say the cards have to run right. And poker players, you know, you read it on the internet forums all the time. You hear stories of every tournament you go, you know, people are fed up with bad beat stories, because they are a part of poker. That is unfortunately something you have no control over. You have control over the way you play a hand and using your skills, but you have no control over the way the cards fall. And the odds might be X or Y for something to happen, but sometimes the cards just defy the odds.
Three-handed now, and the first time that Ian Cox has gone ahead. But there's not that much in it. Chip-wise, I mean, Simon Zach would be the chip leader with a little double through.
Pass. All in.
And,
Well, he didn't call with ace-jack, did he? So...
I mean, that handle obviously come back to haunt him. And I'm wondering here if Pyra, after he folded the ace-jack, if he got information from Zach that told him that would have been a good call.
Yeah, I didn't hear what they said after that hand. I know Andy declared he had the ace-jack, but I don't know what Simon said.
114,000.
If he does happen to call here, obviously he'll like being in front, but he won't like the other 2 cards.
Zach is not funking for this call. It's a very similar situation to last time, which is that if Pyra calls and loses, he'll have about half a chunk left.
Ace-3 hand is a massive hand, Jesse. You know,
worse than the last time.
You got to know that.
I still think it's ace feels great, and it feels great at the moment.
I don't know who will be reaping the rewards out of these 2 chatting to each other, do you?
A year ago, I would have been straight in there.
Yeah, that's probably what's letting you down.
You must have Jack 4 that.
He would have.
Yeah, you know, that's what they say. We saw 22-year-old John Wong last week. He called with an ace-queen for all his chips, and that's the difference between 22 and 32. I can't believe Pyra's...
Good pass. Yeah.
I think he's lost his bottle.
Yeah.
He just said it. He said, I'm too old for this.
What's that? I'm happy with watching now. Yeah.
I just hope, obviously he's been playing these hands tight, Jesse, and I hope he don't wind up sticking his chips in with rubbish in a minute, you know, calling something, because he'll look back on this and completely regret it. I hope he carries on playing the same and it's successful for him.
Saying before that he did learn the game from Mad Marty Wilson, and the Mad Marty school of poker excellence is you always get your chips in first.
Yeah.
Raise.
And it all looks good until you run into a huge hand, and I think he's going to get away with this.
I don't know, this guy's got moves in him.
50,000 more.
Pyra folds the ace-9 for an all-in call, but with the 10-3 in the small blind, he does to Ian Cox what Simon Zach done to him. And yeah, if you are going to fold the ace on the big blind, you have to be willing to do that.
As the game goes on three-handed like this, and the bets are either all in or pass, every time I had the button or the small blind, if 2 matching cards, I'll be all in. Because I wouldn't even mind if you come up against ace something, which that's the only thing they're calling with, ace-jack, ace-queen.
But it's also kind of like the more these guys are scared to or trying to avoid trouble, the more likely it is going to be that that's the only way that they're going to get knocked out by running into big. Sooner or later, it's just, you can just feel it. I mean, you can just feel that somebody's going to run into a big hand at some point.
I think it might. We might have one here.
55 in total.
He must re-raise now.
Plus.
Yeah. It's
Gonna
35.
see a flop.
Wow.
Yes.
Flop?
Yes.
Flop? What's the
Go on, Jesse, do your best.
It's the best news Ian Cox could have heard. I guarantee he didn't want to see it all in re-raised there.
No, he would have passed.
But maybe Pyra's going to get crafty. Flush draw for Ian.
And I'll tell you what, you might he'll have all these chips in here.
If Pyra goes all in, Ian Cox might not be able to call.
No, you're right.
So it is. Who gets the chips in first?
Well, the way Andy's played, he's got a check, hasn't he? You know, he's called with the ace-10.
Well, yeah. Looks like he's thinking of making half a lump bet. And Cox will go straight all in over the top then. Won't he?
50.
Yeah.
All in.
The percentages say this is a dead split, but Cox getting his chips in first. That is the real change.
He can't call, Jesse, can he? He can't call. I hate to say this, but I think he played the hand terrible.
Does seem like. I mean, there are probably some hands that you could have called before the flop with, but the ace-10, being that it has such a good chance of being goody, and you got to just get the money in, don't you?
That's right. And then when he, you know
anything
anything barring an ace flopping, he's in massive trouble, ain't he? Because you know the other guy's going to go all in.
Oh.
I think, to be honest, it's the sheer pressure of this tournament, Jesse, and the format. Only one goes through, and I just think it really does, get the people that there's so much pressure on you actually winning the table and going through.
It's such a shame there, because if Pyra had moved all in, he would have won. I think he would have won the pot on the flop. At the very worst, he would have been 50-50.
Yeah.
I mean, Ian Cox hasn't come this far to call everything on a flush draw with undercards.
That's right, and he would have took it down pre-flop as well.
And the situation now, Cox has been allowed to get to 370-something thousand.
Pass. All in.
In all effectiveness, it's over unless one of these guys gets going.
Has Andy just declared all in?
Yeah, he's gone all in small blind, and
Yeah, he's going to get a call there.
now he's in a race.
Call.
Nope.
Straight race for Pyra to get back to where he was.
Yeah.
And the way things have been going for Andy of late, you don't fancy him to win this, but he is. I mean, he's see what the deck has to say. 2 4s need to hold for Andy Pyra. The Piranha.
He won last time. His 5s held up when he was all in before against overcards. That's King, wasn't it?
That pair on the board, bad news, because it gives chances of a counter.
Oh my! That's his lot.
That's just the way it's going. 2 cards in the deck for the Piranha. Andy Pyra has not hit him, and
Lucky.
Yeah, that was bad for him. He'll have to change his nickname to Guppy or something after that performance.
I mean, he's played some great poker early on, but it just slipped away, and Cox has just been too strong.
Andy, you're out in 3rd place this evening. You started off really great, but seemed to tighten up towards the end. What was the reasoning behind
I think
that?
basically, once I've got a few chips early on, I've no need to play anything until the levels start getting quite tasty, which they do. Sort of 10, 20. You've got to start trying to make a few moves. And I'm not sure whether or not my balls are big enough today, to be honest. I was a little bit scared out there, if I'm completely honest.
Thanks, Andy. We'll be back with more poker action after the break.
Wanna play poker?